Quick, graph y equals 1/2 raised to the x power plus 2 by hand, 2 different ways. This is part of the family of functions series. First way was we're going to use what I call the 1/2 to the x dance. Y equals 1/2 to the x has an asymptote normally at y equals 0, but because of the plus 2 in the equation, the asymptote will be moved up to y equals 2. So we'll go ahead and plot that. Also, because of the plus 2, the origin is now going to be at 0, 2 instead of at 0, 0. And points will be plotted relative to this new origin, which is in orange. The initial point is right 0 up 1, because 1/2 raised to the 0 power is 1. From there, right 1 up a half. 1/2 raised to the first power is a half. Right 2 up a quarter. If you square a half, you get a quarter. Then right 3 up 1/8. 1/2 raised to the third power is 1/8. Going to the left 1 up 2. 1/2 raised to the -1 means take the reciprocal of a half, which is 2. Left 2 up 4. 1/2 raised to the -2 power means take the reciprocal of a half and then square it. And left 3 up 8 means take the reciprocal of 1/2, which is 2, and then cube it, which is 8. We already have the asymptote, so we can connect the points. And there's our graph of y equals 1/2 raised to the x plus 2. Comparing that to the parent function, we can see that going from the blue to the green, at that point we're going up 2 units. From there to there, up 2 units. In fact, from blue to green, it's up 2 units all along. The second way is graphing using a table. So we'll start off with our y equals 1/2 to the x table of 7 points. And again, what we're going to do is add 2 to each of the y coordinates, because that's what it says to do in the equation. Now for this first one, 1/8, adding 2 to that would be 1/8 plus 16/8, which is 17/8. So we would plot 3, 2 and 1/8. 1/4 plus 2 is like 1/4 plus 8/4. So that would be 9/4. So over 2 and up 2 1/4. When subtracting, or I'm sorry, adding 2 to 1/2 would be like adding 4 halves, which gives us 5 halves. So 1, 2 1/2. 1 plus 2 is 3, so 0, 3. 2 plus 2 is 4, -1, 4. 4 plus 2 is 6, so -2, 6. And 8 plus 2 is 10, so -3, 10. We need to draw in the asymptote at y equals 2. And then connecting the points, we get y equals 1/2 raised to the x plus 2. And again, we can compare that to the parent function.